Welcome everybody to Spinner Rack. I'm here with the boys, PD and Cal. You know, what's the problem? Yo, PD and Cal. Today we're going to be talking about great Marvel news that we're hearing, the stuff that's coming out in the new Disney streaming channel, and we're hearing a new show about Falcon and Winter Soldier, as well as something with
Vision and Scarlet Witch.
which we're not crazy about. But
We're
hey,
crazy
what's
about,
going
but
on?
not the miniseries from the comic book.
Okay, so what do you guys think about this? This is great and awesome news that they're finally coming out with stuff after the cancellation of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and possibly Daredevil, but that's another conversation.
It seems as if they might be even getting rid of Jeph Loeb. Just saying, get rid of that. We're starting anew at the Disney Marvel streaming service.
Kevin Feige is putting out a hit on
Rid
Loeb.
of Jeph Loeb?
Yeah, that we've been hearing that.
I'm not too sure about that. That's kind of like getting rid of Kevin Feige. I wouldn't do that. Jeph Loeb has shepherded those shows to great success. I wouldn't do it. That's just me. I
Well,
wouldn't do
Feige's taken over, has been put in charge of the new Marvel streaming channel.
it.
So,
He
and
can't
that
have
means
anybody
Loeb
there
is
to
not going to be part of
challenge
that.
his rule. No man must be there to challenge it.
I wouldn't do it.
So-
I mean, look. I mean, that was something that could have bombed very easily, very easily. Especially since the whole Marvel thing was the lighter. It was the lighter, the humor, and this was like, no, we're going to show like the darker. We're going to show the the darker side of the Marvel universe, and they did a very good job with that. Whatever errors happened are definitely outshined by all of the success they had, and Jeph Loeb was definitely a big part of that. Jeph Loeb, to be quite honest, if he had been more involved with the Iron Fist season 1,
Well, how do you know
they might have
he
turned around a
wasn't,
little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly.
How
What
do you
he
know
wasn't?
he wasn't?
Because he wasn't.
He was in charge of all that.
That
He's
means
the head of
he
TV
was
for
asleep
Marvel.
at the
so-
wheel.
Oh, no,
We're not going that
we
far,
can't go
Jeff.
that.
We like your
Can't
stuff,
go
so-
there.
You can't say he's
He was
controlling
not. He
Daredevil
wasn't as involved.
and not
He
involved
wasn't as
in this
involved.
other thing.
So
He
how
wasn't.
how do you know?
I read. It's a variety.
We read it, but we
Of
didn't see
course,
that.
you want to get yourself away from the failures and stick as close to the successes
Hey,
as
Jessica
possible.
Jessica Jones is a success, and I don't like the show. So again, whether it succeeds or not has very little to do with me.
The yardstick they've been using for why some of these Marvel shows have been canceled is that they're mentions on social media. And you know what? That could be manipulated. It could be, they didn't put in the same amount of advertising behind the other two shows, So look, right now, Disney and Netflix are on a war. And it's a war of who's going to be spending their streaming dollars.
It's a war. It's done.
It's not done. It's going to be a war because they're dropping shows at Disney. They have to pay Disney for the Netflix shows. So if these Netflix shows don't do well, Disney makes less income.
Well, if
And-
Disney's route, I would suspect Disney's route, they're going to have, Netflix is already top dog because they don't just have the Marvel shows. They have a plethora of content there. You could literally get lost in Netflix and never come out. That would be like the Oasis from Ready Player One. You could literally live in there looking for more entertainment.
you can
Disney is still building up, even though they do have
I totally
these
disagree.
very hot, popular characters.
Disney has the #1 movie studio. It has ABC Family, all the ABC properties. It has the Fox studio now. The amount of stuff they
Then
got.
at some point, you're going to find the Sound of the South on Disney
Song of the
stream-
South?
Song of the South in Disney streaming.
Zippity-doo-dah. It was a great movie.
Don't say that. No, you just saying that because you got a mask
The
on.
point of the matter is that you have as much content on the Marvel Disney streaming services than that they have on Netflix, and probably even a higher quality because
You're going to have
this
as
whole
much.
library.
I don't think they're going to have as
library.
much content initially. Maybe they'll get there, but as much content as Netflix.
The Hulu will be like a regular, would be like their R-rated channel. Then they have
yeah,
a regular
Hulu.
Disney, which is going to be more like a PG. Then you're going to have
Disney owns Hulu.
Yeah, now with the purchase
So
of
they're
Fox, they're a
gonna-
majority owner of that. And
They're going to dissolve Hulu then?
I don't know. They may keep Hulu.
That's the other
It's going to be a
problem.
different. It's
Because
going to
I
be a
see
different,
no reason to pay for Disney and pay for Hulu.
Let
I
me
see no
finish what I'm
reason.
saying. So the plan is to package that with the Marvel streaming channel, the Disney, the Hulu, and probably ESPN. So they're just looking at different models right now.
Oh.
That's going to beat Netflix out
You
the
don't know
box.
that.
How?
Netflix is already working and their dollars are already being spent. Disney is the new thing. It's a startup.
But Disney has all the
It's a
movies
startup.
already.
It's
They have
not
all
like
the
when they-
movies. They have.
Okay,
the key
we're
thing-
saying- you
content is
understand what a
king.
startup- you know what a startup is?
I know what content is. Content is king.
They're not-
But do you know what a
the
startup
#1
is?
movie theater company for years now, huh?
But they're still a startup.
Yes, that's the thing.
You know
It's,
what?
Okay.
saying they
I'm
have all the
speaking-
content is one
Number
thing.
one is
but
sports.
starting
Let's
up
put
is
it
a
in
different
layman's
thing.
terms. Let's put it in layman's terms for the average person, not guys like us who come to argue this stuff out. Okay? You want to watch a movie. Right now, if you're not going to the movie theater, where are most people going? If it's not Redbox in their supermarket, they're going to Netflix. Disney still has to encroach on that particular market. They are still a startup in comparison to Netflix as to where people are going to be going to get their movies. And Netflix has been the number one place to go get movies for well over a decade now. We're talking when people were still watching stuff on disc. So they're still going to have to go and fight for some of that streaming audience. They may not even know that Disney exists.
I think Disney will do a good job. Look, I totally disagree with you, though. You know why? Because people have made Disney films and TV shows some of the top-rated things there. So if people are watching, they watch Avengers, right? They're going to say now, in order to see Avengers on TV on the small screen, where are you going to watch it? You're going to only be able. It's only available on the Disney channel. People are going to jump to watch it. The same thing with
They'll jump
Disney.
to watch that, but I still think Netflix is still your default. I mean, you have people now who are watching Black Panther on Netflix
Right now,
So if they
but
go
it's not going to be
I
there
understand
anymore.
it's not going to be there forever. They're going to take what properties belong to them.
Exactly.
But Netflix has already weathered this because they already had the same thing. What was it with Turner?
With
Turner?
all the movie theaters.
These guys were like, no, we're going to take this back. And they
Right.
were like, okay. And then these guys tried to do it on their own and realized it was easier to pay Netflix. It was easier than paying, and then not just that, but their original content too. I'm not saying that Disney does their thing pretty well. Actually, their model is the model that a lot of the other guys have followed. I agree, Pete, they're still a startup. We got to see how they do. It's not that they won't have good shows, but we got to see how they do.
They have the Disney stuff. Let's talk about pure movies. What Netflix originally was. They have the Disney stuff. This is the Disney animation, the Dumbo, all that type of stuff. Then you have the Lucasfilm. We forgot about that. Star Wars is huge. Then you also have
Besides the Star Wars, you have
have-
Ewoks. Besides the Star Wars
besides
movies,
the stories, you have
and then
you have
maybe
the
you have
cartoons,
the
the
cartoons.
clones and stuff like that.
But
then you have the Marvel stuff. Now let's not even forget we got the Fox stuff coming in now.
You're saying
So
at some point,
they're gonna
all
have
that content
is gonna
can
become-
work into it being a streaming service, but at first you have to get people to start buying and
But
saying,
that's
not saying,
And
you're
how
just
much
saying it's just a trade.
and how much are you charging?
Well, so far they haven't come out with a specific model, but the rumor being bandied about for the package because you won't be unlike Netflix, which only have one channel. The thought is they may have multiple channels.
What does
So a lot of
that
people-
mean?
I don't need multiple channels. I just want to watch this
What does
damn
that mean?
movie.
So you have
$14.99 a month, and I can see whatever the hell I want. I don't necessarily.
That
I don't
means
know.
more money. If you're saying it's going to be different channels, I got to buy this channel.
That's
I gotta buy the
that's
cartoon
cable.
channel.
No,
I got to
you-
buy
you-
this
you'll
channel.
have
No,
one
now
channel.
you're now it's
hey,
going
I
in
don't.
between.
Just
You're
as an
using both
advisor,
sides. You said different
I-
channels.
No,
Greed.
That's going to be
Look,
more
I
money.
don't work
Greed.
for Disney. I don't work for Disney, but they said you're going to have the option. You can buy one individually. You can buy all of them.
See, that's that's a whole.
That's a big turnoff. That's one of the
Yes.
reasons why a lot of guys didn't go for Star Trek Discovery. Disney, with somebody like me and people like that ilk, say, look, I may want to see the Black Panther, but I don't necessarily want to pay to see all this other stuff. I just want to see that. Netflix was good because, hey, it may be from the Disney strike or from Time Warner or whatever it is. I can try to access the best of the those things from all these movie companies right here. It was a great hub.
No. All right, listen. Let's get on. That went down memory lane on that one.
Hey.
So, what do you guys think of the new Falcon and Winter Soldier show? You think that's a good idea? Do you think by Disney
Is it
bringing
going to
some of
be
this-
the TV version?
It
of
sounds like
them,
It sounds like
or
Captain
what?
America and the Falcon without Captain America.
Well, they're taking off. Think about it. They're using not their their premier string people like Captain America, Iron Man, but they're getting the guys who are
But they're both movie stars. Will
doing-
they? Will
right,
they make
but
the
they're
jump
not-
to?
So they're not even
TV?
doing third tier
That's
now.
what
We're
I
going
know.
we're going fourth tier characters right
Those
now.
are second tier characters.
No.
Yeah,
Falcon is not second tier. Sorry.
Falcon and Winter Soldier are second tier. In the movies, that's what they are.
Hey, that's going to be a tough sell, man. I just don't find
I think it's
Anthony
gonna be
Mackie. I don't
He
find him
just-
very compelling as a leading man in
In
anything that he's
Ant-Man,
done.
in Ant-Man, he was
Anthony
great.
Mackie?
Yeah.
In Ant-Man, he
I
was
don't know,
fantastic.
but
wasn't
I
he?
think that if you can only are
She
you
hate me.
transferring, if you transfer, that's a bad movie.
Well, that's
Anthony
overall,
Mackie's
most
been
of
in
them
a ton
haven't done
movies.
good movies outside the universe, right?
What?
Who has done a great
No.
movie outside
They've
the
been
Marvel?
in-
Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. He was in that too. That was, I mean,
What type of shows
have
are
not
you
seen-
watching, bro?
Anthony Mackie is an established star. Are they going to get him and get
Bucky,
Sebastian?
yes. Yeah, they're going to get Sebastian. They're getting
Stan?
both of them.
Are they,
Kevin Feige is
they're
getting both of them
movie
for the show.
stars.
well, so is Paul Bettany.
But
I
they're
mean, the
not-
only person I'm hearing from this who really should say, okay, this is something along my line, would be Elizabeth Olsen. She's she's pretty much the newest with the smallest pedigree at this point. So
I don't know. On the other hand, I think that
she's been in movies
she could be
too,
in
and it's
movies.
hard. I mean, if
she
you,
has a
she's
more-
been in Godzilla, and she was in Old Boy.
she's,
But
I mean, she's been in independent movies, that sort of thing, like art stuff. So
I think that the question is
that's
that-
movies.
The question is that she.
then I've been in some movies too. I've been in some.
You have not
independent-
been in any
Hey, I've been
movies,
in some
so
independent art
You
stuff
have been
too.
in nothing.
With my clothes on.
And Anthony Mackie is a star. Whether he's a supporting character mostly, he's been
Sebastian,
in.
too. They're both stars. They're all stars.
They've been in a ton of movies. To say, all right, the deal that the money they have to make to do this deal has to be extreme. So it's just like we're the stars.
They're making millions. You know,
I'm saying they have for a TV show.
Yeah, they're not
That's
starting
the
off at any industry.
I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. There was at one point you couldn't see stars do like if you wanted to see like somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was really at the height of his game, you never saw him do any sort of adverts in the States. But if you left the country, you would actually see the adverts. Why? Because they were paying him the money that they needed to pay him to come over and say this deodorant is great. They weren't doing that in the States.
The real money.
That's
well,
what
we only have this much for
But
commercials.
streaming is giving money.
No, we don't. You're just they don't. You're saying we're taking money that we have and putting it into streaming. So that whatever the budget is, they're taking it and putting it into streaming. There's no revenue that's coming in right now for the streaming. That's why CBS has 2 or 3 shows.
But that's why you can estimate, like, based off of how much money
Somebody else
has
made.
like 100 million.
After how many years? That doesn't mean Disney has 100 million subscribers.
I think it's consensus time, big business. It's consensus time.
Disney is the number one.
No, you're saying that at some point,
gonna do it.
They had to allot money to
billions of dollars.
Yeah, they will, but at the same time, then you have to take in a loss, just like OWN.
Right.
It's like Oprah's network. You got to take in a loss, and then you got to deal with that to find out what works. So that means.
And the same thing with the DC universe. They're going to do that too. But with DC universe, they got Titans.
How many shows do they have?
They have Titans right after.
They're
Titans
part of Warner Brothers. How many shows do they have?
They have all that other stuff. They have.
No,
they
what you're saying.
You know, look, I think.
So I'm saying they have all. You sound like me saying there's 100 million things.
You know what? All I'm feeling is negativity here, people. Negativity. Suffice it to say, Spinner Rack, we're all down with this. We think it's a great idea. We think we want to see.
Who said that besides? Oh, okay.
You guys are disagreeing with me again?
I'm not saying anything because we got to wrap this up.
Okay, so we're okay. We want to see more Scarlet Witch.
Well, the thing is,
the
whole thing is that the show's going to be, because that's what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is, a lot of talking with some action scenes. So I watched one recently where they were, I guess, fighting the Kree, and they were in a spaceship, and they went through time and stuff like that. And
good episode, by the way.
The basis of these shows is sort of like, we're going to have some action, but it's going to be the interaction. They're going to have to take Scarlet Witch and Vision, and then they have to put people around them, because all these shows have a base of like the way Flash is. So you have
Team Flash. So
you have a team. That's the only way people know. Say like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You have a best friend. All these people, so they don't talk in their heads, because that's what Scarlet Witch and Vision in the comics initially was. A lot of I'm interested in Vision, and Vision's like, I'm a robot, but nobody really understands that I have these feelings. And that was the strong. Now they're already a couple, so you don't have that. So what are they going to be doing? Going out for drinks, and the next thing you know, someone attacks them, just like in the Avengers movie? I am fine, because I like those.
I don't like it at all.
I like those actors. I don't want to get into anything of the Human Torch or anything like that. Just deal with them as no kids.
No human robots.
No kids.
He's not a robot.
Android, no human.
With the film, he's more like he's. This is less than he wasn't created. I mean, because you gave him the. What did he have again? The soul? Was it the Soul Stone he had?
Yes.
So it's like he's alive. He's like he actually has a soul. It's a lot dodgier than what they did in the comic. A lot dodgier. It's harder to call him a robot or an automaton or even Ghost in the Shell at that matter. Once you had the Soul Stone, it's like he was genuinely alive, or else it's the Soul Stone itself doesn't matter.
Totally against it.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, so we're down for the new Disney shows that are coming out. We are excited as hell. Bring it on, Disney. We want to see the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We want to see Scarlet Witch.
We want to see Power Band and Iron Fist. Don't throw them away and do it better.
It's not coming back. It's not
It
coming
could,
back.
but
It's
it
not
doesn't
coming
look
back.
likely now that
Disney-
they already put out their shows.
Netflix owns those characters right now. And
They're
unless
doing
give-
duos. Why not Power Man and Iron
Because they
Fist?
cost a lot of money together.
the contract runs out in 2018 and 2019, so you got to wait.
Yeah. All they could do is renew. They could do what the Fox and Sony do as long as they keep renewing their contracts. Is theirs. I think now Sony actually owns Spider-Man. So hey, spin it back. Oh.